Have you ever noticed that nearly every dermatologist repeats the same narrative and recommends the same things over and over again when it comes to hyperpigmentation? It's sun-induced, wear your sunscreen, put on vitamin C, use tretinoin, benzoyl peroxide, bleach the pigmentation with hydroquinone, or come in and pay for an expensive laser. If these solutions worked, not a single person on the planet would still struggle with discoloration. And yet here we are. I've been a skincare expert now for nearly 30 years, and pigmentation is the #1 concern I see over and over again. And I've seen the side effects of a lot of those treatments. They're very harsh. They aim at bleaching on the surface, not addressing the root cause. And that's simply because dermatologists were not trained on root cause. They were not trained on nutritional imbalances, identifying hormone imbalances, and so on. And so problem, solution. And by solution, I mean temporary topical fix. Truth is, most of those treatments are harsh, most of the time unsafe, or even worse, they can cause rebound hyperpigmentation that comes back later with vengeance. If you're new here, hello and welcome. My name is Nadia, founder of Functional Beauty Principles, and that's where I teach you how to treat your skin from the inside out and the outside in naturally without intervention. After a very long career in the beauty industry, growing multiple global brands, I quit. I was tired of the fluff and wanted to be your guide to better skin naturally. So I launched the beautydoctrine.com, and that's where I curate my top choices that are pre-vetted, whether it's supplements or skincare. There are also a bunch of guides available to you to guide you through every skin concern. Now let's get back to the topic at hand, and that's how you can treat that pigmentation from the inside out, because your skin is an organ and it's your body's way of communicating to you what's going on the inside. Pigmentation is very often a symptom of an internal imbalance, either hormonal or nutritional. In today's video, I'm going to talk about ingredients that are probably in your kitchen today can help you treat that hyperpigmentation from the inside out. First, stop scrubbing and bleaching that skin, and let's get to understanding your biology. I'm going to show you why you get that pigmentation in the first place, why surface treatments often fail, and the foods and minerals that can help your skin starts to repair itself from the inside out. By the end, you'll walk away with a functional beauty protocol that's going to support your skin's clarity for the long term. First, why dark spots are not just about the sun. Yes, UV rays play a role, but it's a small one. There are 4 other ignored causes. The first one is oxidative stress, then hormonal shifts, liver function, and nutritional deficiencies. Let's talk about the skin-liver connection. You probably have heard of liver spots. So most of those age spots that you see that come up over the years have to do so much more with your liver than with the sun. Your skin health is directly tied to 2 main organs, your gut and your liver. Your gut is your gateway to skin nourishment. Every vitamin, mineral, amino acid, any nutrient has to be absorbed through the gut for it to make it to the skin. So before you book that spa or dermatologist appointment, start looking at your food. There is no way around it. There is not a shortcut here. As we age, our stomach acid and digestive enzymes decline. Stress, medications, and processed foods all contribute to that decline. And when that absorption breaks down, even the healthiest of diets will not benefit your skin. Now the liver. Think of your liver as your body's filtration system. It processes hormones and detoxifies waste. If it's overloaded from alcohol, sugar, environmental toxins, pesticides, all these things we're ingesting on a daily basis, these compounds, they linger around. They don't leave your body, fueling oxidative damage and hormonal imbalances, which in turn overstimulates melanin production. So think of those spots as toxins that showed up on your skin because your liver was too sluggish, too tired, too overburdened to actually detoxify them. And that's something you can't scrub away, peel off, or get rid of even with a laser. When you use these treatments, you might see that instant gratification, but if you don't address your liver issue, they're going to continue to come up to the surface, and the skin can only tolerate so much aggression. Now, let's talk about nutritional deficiencies and how they can manifest as dark spots. Your skin runs on nutrients, and when they become low, pigmentation becomes much harder to treat. First is zinc. It's essential for DNA repair, wound healing, and controlling inflammation. Magnesium powers over 800 enzymatic functions, including collagen production. Deficiency shows up as poor sleep, muscle cramps, and skin's inability to repair overnight. So you see how it's all connected? So if you are low in magnesium, you can't sleep, hence you can't repair, hence you cannot get rid of that pigment. And then you have copper. It's not only essential for collagen synthesis, but it's a melanin balancer. Low copper levels can lead to premature graying. So it has a lot to do with color in our skin and in our hair. But remember, too much zinc can hinder copper absorption. This is why you have to be informed. You cannot just guess. You can't just supplement one mineral. You have to go with a complex of minerals, but we'll get to that later. And then you have vitamin C, which is essential to collagen synthesis, to fight oxidative stress, inflammation, and of course, to brightening your skin, breaking down pigmentation. Essentially, if you care about your skin, you better be taking that high quality vitamin C. Now, there are two massive pigmentation triggers, and those are inflammation and oxidative stress. We're exposed to so many stressors. We have processed foods now that we're dealing with, environmental pollution, internal stress. All of these generate free radicals and stable molecules that trigger that inflammation within the body. Your skin responds to that damage by ramping up that melanin production, almost like building a shield. Remember, melanin is a great thing. It is an antioxidant that our bodies can make when we are facing oxidative stress. Generally, when you're outside in direct sunlight, that's a stressor on the body. So your body starts making that melanin to protect you from burning. However, now with our exposure to so many more oxidants besides the sun, our melanin is just basically going crazy. Oxidative stress fuels melanin production and of course wrinkles. How do we cut this cycle? Cut back on sugars and refined oils. Increase your intake of anti-inflammatory foods like chia, turmeric, flax seeds, leafy greens, and the very best one is sockeye wild salmon. And then you want to support your antioxidant defenses with fruits like berries or citrus and supplements like alpha-lipoic acid, resveratrol, astaxanthin. So when you quiet that inflammation, your skin stops sending those signals that lead to overproduction of melanin. Here's something that rarely comes up at your dermatologist office, and that is the sleep-skin connection. Your skin can only repair and heal at night during deep sleep. You're not getting deep sleep, you're not getting a repair. Let's talk about some tips to optimize your beauty sleep, and I have a video about that, but I'll share some right here. First one is to use the 3-2-1 method, and that is no food within 3 hours of bedtime, no drink within 2 hours, and no blue light within that 1 hour. I know it's gonna be hard, but you got to get your beauty sleep, so it's worth the sacrifice. Add magnesium-rich foods at dinner, as well as magnesium glycinate at bedtime. My topic is on thebeautydoctrine.com. If that's not enough, add adaptogens. There is this phenomenal supplement that I take almost every night. I like to rotate, so I do it every other night, and that's called Calm Beauty with spermidine and a lot of amino acids. It's phenomenal. Or you can do adaptogens. So those you'll find in another supplement that I use in my rotation, and that's called Stress and Sleep Support. If these recommendations don't work for you, let me know in the comments section. There are plenty more recommendations that I can share. Comment guide for my functional beauty protocol on how to fade that pigmentation naturally. It will have all of my skincare advice. There's a bunch of different things that can actually help you. But in the last couple minutes of this video, I'm going to share the specific foods and supplements that can help you start reversing that pigmentation. There are a couple zinc supplements that you can find on thebeautydoctrine.com, depending, pick one depending on your concerns. One is Ancient Nutrition Zinc plus Probiotics. So if you feel that you have gut dysbiosis, or if you're not taking probiotics, your diet is not so clean, this is great. It's also whole food based, so there are no synthetic supplements in here. There's a zinc complex, which I recommend often to my acne prone clients. So if you tend to get that post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, this is great. And it has various types of zinc and organic spirulina powder, which is a master detoxifier. Remember that link with the liver? And these are all foods that are very high in zinc, so I would make sure to incorporate some of them in your daily diet. These are your copper-rich foods, and I cannot emphasize enough how important copper is. I know there is an issue these days with the soils being depleted, so you might not get your optimal levels by consuming a lot of these foods. You still should, but I would look into supplementation as well. Zinc supplements that I showed are good as a starting point. They're a great quick fix when you know that you are deficient, that you have less than optimal diet, that you're not consuming those foods that are high in zinc, or that you are a slow healer. If you have little white dots on your nails, that is a sign that you have a zinc deficiency. So those are all good indicators that maybe it's a good option for you to take zinc. Just be cautious with long-term use, because that can hinder the absorption of other very important minerals like copper, and that's the next one. So for copper, these are your copper-rich foods. I typically don't get copper in a supplement. It's really hard, in fact, to find a copper in supplements. And so what I do is I take Himalayan shilajit. This is a phenomenal supplement that's natural, that has over 90 minerals. So it's a really good natural source of minerals. And the other thing that I do to ensure I have adequate copper levels is consume greens every single day. So those days that I don't consume enough, or I'm skipping, or I'm traveling, I do super greens, and these are super high naturally in copper. You'll notice I don't recommend synthetic supplements. Very, very rarely I do. There are very few supplements that I would resort to in synthetics, but for the most part, when it comes to minerals specifically, I like to go with natural sources to avoid imbalances. Now we're gonna need to optimize that sleep for relaxation. So like I said earlier, magnesium glycinate is phenomenal, and you'll find my top one on my website, but I grabbed these two to show you to help you fall asleep faster and stay asleep, get that quality deep sleep. You have Calm Beauty by Agent Nature. So this tastes delicious. If you like cherry, it tastes like cherries. It's got a bunch of great amino acids. It also has some magnesium, but citrate. Spermidine is phenomenal to promote autophagy. You have 5-HTP, which is another sleep promoter. So this is phenomenal. I like to rotate those so my body does not get used to the same supplement every night. So there is the sleep support supplement. It's called Stress and Sleep Support. This one has reishi mushrooms. So this is more based on adaptogens. So you have reishi, passion flower, ashwagandha, fermented lavender, hops. So that's a great one for sleep. You can just do ashwagandha if you don't have a hard time with sleep, but you have a hard time in general just relaxing and be intense. Ashwagandha is a phenomenal adaptogen that helps your body adapt to stress. And talking of stress, we need to touch on those magnesium-rich foods, and here they are. Clear, beautiful skin does not happen when you start attacking your skin with aggressive treatment. It happens when you find balance within. Let me know if you're gonna apply these methods, and keep me posted on your progress. Until the next video, be well, be safe, be beautiful, take care.